Welcome to Australia, the land down under. In today's video, we're going to tell you a lot of facts about our home country and what makes it so special. By the time we're finished, you're going to want to visit the wide brown land in the south. We're not really sure how it happened, but many people around the world have the idea that Australia is a very dangerous place. A very dry, dusty desert land filled with deadly creatures such as snakes, spiders, sharks and crocodiles. We quite like this image as it makes us seem very brave indeed to live in such a dangerous place. But if we are being honest, it's not really the way life is for most Australians. Yes, it is a very dry and dusty place if you live in the outback. That's what we Aussies call the desert in the middle of the country. But most Australians actually live in cities near the coast. In fact, 89% of Australians live in cities, making it one of the most urbanised countries in the world. Australia is made up of 7 states: Victoria, New South Wales, Queensland, South Australia, Western Australia, Tasmania, and 2 territories, the Northern Territory and the Australian Capital Territory. Australia is the 6th largest country in the world, with a land mass of 7.92 million square kilometres. Being an island nation means that it is completely surrounded by oceans. The spectacular coastline is approximately 34,000 kilometres long. The world-famous Great Barrier Reef is found on the east coast of the nation and is a must-see for any visitors to the country. On the southern coastline is the spectacular 12 Apostles. Despite its size, Australia only has a population of around 25 million people. That means that there are 3 people for every square kilometre of land, making it one of the lowest population densities in the world. Australia is also a relatively flat country. The highest mountain, Mount Kosciuszko, being only 2,228 metres above sea level. The longest river in Australia forms the border between the states of New South Wales and Victoria. It's the Murray River and it's 2,508 kilometres long. Even though the outback is a huge part of Australia, and as a country it's quite flat, Australia also enjoys a variety of climates. From the dry outback at the majestic Uluru to humid tropical rainforests, to chilly snow-capped ski resorts and beautiful rolling green hills where grapevines flourish and apple trees grow in a cooler climate. Unlike many countries that have to import a lot of their food, there is a climate for growing any crop you can imagine in Australia. In addition to supporting the human inhabitants, Australia is home to 378 species of mammals, 300 species of lizards, 140 species of snakes, and 2 species of crocodiles. Of the mammals, almost half are marsupials. Marsupials are animals that carry their babies around in a pouch until they are old enough to make it on their own. The most famous marsupial is the kangaroo, but one of the most unique creatures on Earth is the platypus. It's part of the monotreme family. Monotremes are mammals that lay eggs instead of giving birth to live young. The platypus has a bill like a duck, tail like a beaver, and feet like an otter. When European naturalists first saw it, they thought it was a joke. The platypus is usually quite a shy creature. If you are ever lucky enough to see one, you'll be having a very good day. Canberra is the capital city of Australia and is home to Parliament House, the seat of the government. Being a member of the Commonwealth nations, the flag demonstrates the relationship with Britain by featuring Britain's flag, the Union Jack, in the top left-hand corner, as well as the group of stars called the Southern Cross. The Southern Cross is a major constellation in the Southern Hemisphere and was used by early explorers to help them navigate by the stars. The Australian monetary system is the Australian dollar. It uses the dollar symbol to represent it. Australian money is printed on plastic these days, so if you leave it in your pocket and your mum washes your jeans, it's not a problem. You can still spend it. English is the official language of Australia. This is because in 1788 the land was discovered and claimed by the British. At that time they were looking for somewhere to send their prisoners, also known as convicts, as the prisons in England were too full. So for quite a while, ships of prisoners were sent to Australia to work out their sentences through hard labour, and that is how the European settlement of Australia began. Prior to this time, the Indigenous or Aboriginal people roamed the land for thousands of years. There were as many as 700 different nations or clans, with 250 unique languages. From 1788 until 1973, most migration was from Europe, but in 1973, Australia opened up its doors to migration from all countries, and now there are over 200 different nationalities represented amongst Australians. We hope you've enjoyed learning just a few things about Australia. There is so much more we could tell you, but that will have to wait for another video, because there are so many amazing countries to explore. If you want to see more of these videos, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any. If you were just passing by, you'd make us very happy if you gave this video a thumbs up. Thank you for watching, and see you later.